we'll move on to the next talk by Shatavadhani or Ganesh ji. Shatavadhani ji is engaged today in a whole day activity related to Avadhana only. So we have got a recorded talk by him. It is on the conversational verses in Sanskrit and a few other languages. I'll give a brief introduction to Shatavadhani or Ganesh ji. Shatavadhani Dr.R. Ganesh is one of India's foremost Sanskrit poets and scholars. He writes and lectures extensively on various subjects pertaining to India and Indian cultural heritage. He is a master of the ancient art of Avadhanam, where he faces a group of 8 in Ashtavadhanam or 100 in Shatavadhanam questioners, and in response to their many queries, composers extempore poems set to meter, solves poetic challenges, solves a magic square, keeps a track of the count of a randomly rung bell, and so forth. Dr. Ganesh performs Avadhanam primarily in Kannada, Sanskrit, and Telugu. He is credited with reviving the art in Kannada. He has performed more than 1,200 Ashtavadhanams and 5 Shatavadhanams thus far. He is fluent in several languages, including Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Greek, Latin, and Italian. He is well versed in the Vedas, Vedangas, Upanishads, Dharma Shastra literature, various classical texts on the arts like Nyaaya, Shastra, and literature in classical Sanskrit. Dr. Ganesh holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a master's degree in metallurgy, as well as in Sanskrit. Hampi University awarded him a D.Lit for his thesis, Kannadadalli Avadhana Kale. Tumkur University awarded him an honorary doctorate D.Lit. He is recipient of several awards and recognitions, including Badarayana Vyasa Puraskar from the President of India for his contribution to the Sanskrit language. In the year 2022, the Central Sahitya Academy Award for the Best Sanskrit Translation was conferred to him. He was honored with the Rashtriya Award, Rajyotsava Award by the Karnataka government in 1992, the highest recognition from the state. Recently, he was honored with the fellowship Shastra Chudamani from the Central Sanskrit University, Delhi. Also, he was honored with the Kalidasa Award from the Kavikula Guru Kalidas Sanskrit University, Nagpur, in the year 2020. Now, Srinivas Garu will play the video of his talk.
Om Tat Sat Chidananda Kalavani Vande Chandra Kaladharam Nirmalya Taratam Yena Bimbitam Chitta Bhittishu. Salutations to one and all. My topic is about Samvaada Kavita, that is, conversation in poems. We all know conversation has a very long tradition. Any language, when it is being used by people, it will be having conversations. Without two people interacting, how can the very language exist? Of course, it can exist in thought, but even then, when it has to explicitly come out in Vaikhari, as we call it, it has to be in the form of a dialogue or a polylogue. And in Indian tradition, in the Sanskrit language, starting from the Vedas, we have the conversation, and the conversational poetry, that is Samvaada Kavita, is seen in the Rig Veda Samhita itself, where we have the Brudashi Pururava Samvad Sukta, or Yamayami Samvad Sukta, or Agastya Lopamudra Samvad Sukta, or Pani Sarama Samvad Sukta. Like that, several suktas are present in the Rig Veda Samhita. There itself we have conversational details where the mantras are in the versified form, they are riks. And thus the conversation poetry has started with the Sanskrit literature's beginning itself. And in the Yajurveda also, we do find some of these suktas. And so also in the later literature, we have in Ramayana and Mahabharata, the great epics, as we call the two Itihasas, have plenty of samvadas. But the samvadas are very elaborate. Unlike in the Vedic literature, the samvadas are very, very elaborate. The whole of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna-Arjuna Samvada. Like that, we have so many samvadas in the Mahabharata. In the Shanti Parva especially, we have so many Upadeshas which are structured in the form of many samvadas. Agastya Traya Samvada, or we have the biggest Samvaada, that is Yudhishthira Bhishma Samvaada, and like that. And in the Ramayana also I have plenty of Samvadas, so many cantos, sargas, and so many adhyayas in Ramayana and Mahabharata respectively. We have such Samvada. But I'm not going to those details because this topic has been perhaps already dealt by others and maybe dealt by the later people as well. And hence it may be discussed later also. But my main focus is about the conversation which is present in a single verse, a Sanskrit verse which is a chiseled beauty, especially the metrical structure of Sanskrit is amazingly beautiful. It has a very, very unique and lilting diction, whose rhythm is uncomparable with any of the metrical orders of the world. And here we have beautiful poetry which is embedded in a prosodic form, in a metrical form, where the conversations are impregnated. It is very difficult. We all know conversation is very natural to prose. Conversation in songs, to an extent in folk songs, starting from folk songs, they have that. But conversation in a strictly metrical form, which completes by 4 lines itself, how to conduct a meaningful and engaging conversation. It's a very difficult task, and Sanskrit poets have taken it very easily, and in a capable manner, they have emerged with flying colors. I'll be discussing some of the examples which are present in Sanskrit poetry. Few examples I will be taking, and within the permissible time, I'll be completing the details of them. First, arguably one of the earliest playwrights of Sanskrit literature is Bhasa. In his name, several plays have been discovered and published. Though we have some debates regarding the authorship of plays like Pratima Nataka, Abhishek Nataka, Balacharita, Daridra Charudatta, and others, for our purpose, for the present purpose, we can infer that they have been penned by Bhasa, and so they belong to a lot of antiquity. In the Pratima Nataka play, in the third act, we have a beautiful conversation which is framed in a very difficult but melodious meter known for pathos, that is Shikharni. Shikharni is a very, very deep and grave meter, and it goes well with the situation and mood also, because Bharata comes to know about the sorry state of his father Dasharatha. Though he is not completely informed about his demise itself, Bharata has a vague understanding that his father is not at all well, and he'll be taken by a chariot, and he'll be rushing from the country Kekaya, and he'll be heading towards Ayodhya. In the outskirts of Ayodhya, he'll be passing through the Pratima Graha. This is all the Pratibha and creation of the poet Bhasa himself, and so it has no findings in Ramayana. It has no roots in Ramayana for this particular situation of Pratima Graha, but it is a very great creation. I'm not going to the details of that scene and its appreciation, critical appreciation, but I'm focusing only on this verse which I mentioned earlier in Shikharni meter. And this is a conversation between Bharata and the charioteer. Pituh ko me vyadhi hridaya paritapah khalu mahan किमाहुस्तं वैद्याः न खलु विषयस्तत्र निपुणाः किमाहारं भुङ्क्ते शयनमपि भूमौ निरशनः किमाशा स्याद्दैवं स्फुरति हृदयं वाहयरथम्. This is the verse. Bharata asks, Pituh ko me vyadhihi. Pitur me ko vyadhihi. What disease, brothers, what disease bothers my father? Then the Suta, the charioteer, says, Hridaya paritapah khalu mahan. It means a mental application, a mental affliction. And then it is eating his heart. Hridaya paritapah khalu mahan. Kimahustam vaidyaha. What the doctors opine? What do the doctors say? Then the charioteer says, Nakhalu bishajaha tatra nipunaha. Because Dasharatha has already died. He is no more. The truth is known only to Sarathi, and he conceals it in a very clever way. And that's why he says, they are not skilled into this treatment. They are not skilled in its treatment means it is beyond the hand. It is beyond the hands of the doctors. That is, the suggestion means he is no more. And then kimaharam bhunte, the usual inquiry of the people whenever they inquire about the well-being of a patient who is ailing. Kimaharam bhunte, does he eat well? Shayanamapi, and what else does he have good sleep? Does he eat at all, and sleep? Then the answer comes like that. Nirashanaha bhumau shayanamapi bhumau nirashanaha. He lies with an empty stomach on the ground. And then kimasha syad daivam spurati hridayam vahayaratham. Kimasha syad. Do you have any hope? This is a very eventual question that the concerned persons of the patients, they come to doctor and inquire about that. Is there any hope? Then the charioteer says in a very elusive manner, Daivam, it's only left to the fate alone. Then Bharata immediately says, Purati Hridayam Vahayaratham. My heart is trembling, my heart throbs. Drive the chariot faster. Charioteer is already driving faster, but he still wants it to be faster. That's how the conversation goes. And the people who know how to versify in difficult meters of Sanskrit, they know how challenging it is to compose such a Shikharani verse with conversation, and no word is wasted. It's a flawless verse. Then we have one verse from Charudatta's character. It is from the well-known play Mritchakatikam, that is a Prakarana. Charudatta, the leading character, rather the hero of the play, is a very pious person, is a businessman who has fallen in the trap of poverty, and yet he is very noble and generous. And he'll be conversing with one prince by name Aryaka, who was imprisoned by a vindictive king by name Palaka. And so Aryaka is freed, and this Aryaka is saved by Charudatta, and all this happens in an accidental manner. I'm not going to those details, but this verse is from 7th act of Mritchakatikam, and this meter is in Shardola Vikrita. The verse goes like this. Kshemenam vraja bandhavan nanumaya labdho bhavan bandhavah smartavyosmi katantareshu bhavata svatmapi vismaryate tvam rakshantu pati prayantam amaraha samrakshitoham tvaya Svaibhagyi parirakshitosi nanuhe tatrapi heturbhavan. Almost this verse, every line has been divided into a pair of conversation. And then Charudatta is bidding farewell to Aryaka, and he is assuring a good future to him as well, and is aspiring good future for him. Kshemenam vraja bandhavan nanu maya labdho bhavan bandhavah. Kshemenam vraja. You please go to your place with all safety. May you reach your relatives safely. Kshemenam vraja bandhavan. You go and meet your friends and relatives with all safety. Then Nanu Maya Labdho Bhavan Bandhavaha. For that Aryaka is saying, have I not a relative in you? Don't you see a relative? You have saved my life and you have protected me. And in that sense, you are my true relative. Instead of meeting some other relative, I have already met with you. That is the intent. And so noble and so beautiful is this conversation. And then he says, Smartavyosmi kathantareshu bhavata. Very affectionately says, remember me in the course of conversation. Charudatta is saying to Aryaka, you please remember me whenever you engage yourself in conversation with your friends and relatives when you move away from this place. For that Aryaka, in an equally nobler manner, says, Bhavada Swatmapi Vismaryate. How can I forget my own self? As you have saved my life, you have become my life. How could I forget you? That is the intent. Tvam rakshantu pathi prayantam amaraha. May the gods protect you, the way for wayfarer. On your way, all the deities may protect you. In our tradition, we have so many Margarakshaka devatas. So all these devatas may come to your help. That is the wishful aspiration of Charudatta. And he says, for that Aryaka replies, Samrakshitoham tvaya. You mean the God should save me on my way, have been already saved by you. You are a godly person. That's what it is. I am safe in your protection. That is the answer. Svairbhagye parirakshitosi. Just see how noble and how dignified is Charudatta. He never thinks that he has done a great thing. And this is called anutseka in Sanskrit. Not being proud of our virtue, our values. Svaibhagye parikshitosi. You are guarded by your own good fortune. That is what Charudatta says. To that, Karyaka replies, Nanu he tatra api hetur bhavan. You are the cause even in that. Even then, you are the very cause for my security, for my saving and other things. That's how the conversation goes and ends within a span of 4 lines, every line containing 19 syllables. What a beautiful poetry, which reflects at the same time the noble ways of Sanatana Dharma, which is practiced even today, but how in the golden age of India it used to be practiced. The nobility, the dignity, the warmth, the cordiality, and even the convention, the etiquette, everything has been enshrined in this short poem of 4 lines. Then we go to another masterly play by name Mudra Rakshasa, penned by a very great poet, Shatavadhani. This also belongs to the golden period of Indian history, that is of Guptas. And here it is the very first verse itself. This is the Namdi Padya, as we call the verse of benediction. It is in Sadhana meter, a very majestic and terse meter, very difficult even to pen. Here it is a conversation between Shiva and Parvati. It's an imaginary conversation. It has a touch of Sringara and Hasya, and Parvati is intimidating Shiva because she has already noticed that Ganga is hiding in the matted locks of Shiva, Shiva's Jata Juta, and that's why he has found out and is inquiring, he is cross-examining Shiva. A very beautiful verse. It can be danced so beautifully. Dhanya keyam sthita te shirasi shashikala kinnu namaita dasyaha namayvasyastade tat parichiti parichitimapite vismratam kasya hetoh narim prachami nemdum kathayatu vijaya na pramanam yadinduh devya nimnotu michoh iti sura saritam shatyamovyadvibhorvaha. In the last line, the poet has concluded the conversation with his own words. And so 3 lines are conversation, and the 4th line is the poet himself. Now, the conversation. Parvati is asking Shiva, as though she knows nothing, in a very simplistic manner, rather posing simplicity and innocence, she is saying, Dhanya keyam stita te shirasi. Who is that blessed female sitting atop your head? Then Shiva, in a very clever manner, to place a says, Shashikala. Here you see the Sanskrit language, the gender, which is the feminine means Shashikala, present moon, that is in feminine gender in Sanskrit, according to the Sanskrit grammar, it is in feminine gender. It is the moon's digit, one among the digits of moon, that is called Shri in our tradition. Kinnu namayita dasyaha. Well, it is moon's digit. What is her name? Is this her name? Because Ganga has some other name. Moon's digit has some other name. There is this Namai Vasyastade. Well, this is her proper name. Tat Parichitam Apite Vismritam Kasya Hetoho. Don't you know? Have you forgotten it? You know that is crescent moon. It's a digit of moon. Then she says, Narim Prachami Nemdum. Openly, explicitly she is saying, and she is ready for a verbal combat. I'm asking about the woman, not that moon. Then Shiva says, Kathaitu Vijaya Napramanam Yadintu. Vijaya is one among the attendants of Parvati. And so Shiva cleverly drawing Vijaya, pulling Vijaya into conversation and saying, speak up, Vijaya, is it not moon reliable enough? Vijaya is certainly a reliable person, your own friend, and so let her speak. Can she not recognize that as crescent moon or not? That's what the intent of Shiva is. So I want to hide Ganga. Then poet concludes, Devya nimnotu michoho iti surasaritam shatyam avyad vibhorvaha May this conceit of Shiva, who is trying to conceal Ganga from Parvati, protect you. This is called Vakrokti. Vakrokti is one among the Alankara. Though during the early period of Sanskrit aesthetics, like in the period of Bhamaha, and even in the work of Kuntaka, that is Vakrokti Jivita, Vakrokti is supposed to be a generic name for all sorts of beauty. Saisha Sarvatra Vakrokti. Saisha Sarvatra Vakrokti means this is Vakrokti that is seen everywhere. Kolankaro Nayadina. Without Vakrokti, where is Alankara? There is no meaning of Alankara, there is no meaning of figures of speech, or there is no meaning of imagery itself. And Vakrokti is Vichitra Bhangi Bhaniti, Vidagdha Bhangi Bhaniti, as Kuntaka says. And so this verse is in Vakrokti Alankara. And incidentally, such a conversation is identified itself as an Alankara if it is impregnated in a single verse. If it is in a single verse, then that particular Alankara is called Uttara Alankara. If the question itself becomes answer, then it is called Chitrottara Alankara. Both Appai Dikshita and Jagannatha, they discuss this, and even several other Alankarikas have defined this Alankara and given beautiful examples. But Kulayananda is a well-known standard treatise of Alankara, and even Jagannatha's Rasagangadhara. In both these masterly texts, we find this Alankara, Uttara Alankara and Chitrottara Alankara. I'll be coming to them later, especially Chitrottara Alankara later, because all these examples which I'm reciting from different plays and poems, they are Uttara Alankara. And some people categorize that as Prashnottara Alankara or Prashnottari. Now, a verse from Hanuman Nataka. Hanuman Nataka is a sort of a compilation. So many beautiful verses found in different plays and different poems have been arranged in a play form. And perhaps this play, it is believed to be authored by Hanuman, but compiled by Bhojaraja, like that. But we come to know about this play, perhaps it belongs to 15th century Common Era, not earlier to that. And here, there is a beautiful conversation between Parashurama and Rama. Prere Kshatra Kuladhama Prakatitam Brahmanyamastreణ te Nandvekam Rajanicharim Pamavadhir Mata Name Tataka Nikshatram Kritavanaham Vasumatim Koham Tada Satyava Dishtonaiva Parajayo Mamapura Chedyasti Tadvai Bhavam. We have several recensions of Hanuman Nataka. This is found in one such recension. And this is set to Shardula Purdita meter, a meter of 19 syllables. El Sadkara is a meter of 21 syllables in every foot. Shikarni has 17 syllables per foot. Here, Parashurama in rage is questioning. You are a disgrace to the Kshatriya clan. He is addressing Rama. He is scolding him. Then Rama, a very calm and composed manner, but with all wit, he is saying, replying him, Prakatitam Brahmanyamastreణ te. Sir, your weapon is a proof enough of your strong fidelity to your race. This is Atyanta Tiraskrita Vachyadhvani. Brahmins should not wield a weapon, but you are doing so. You have a sword, you have an axe, and you have a bow, and you have plenty of arrows in your feet. Everything is present. And how come you are a Brahmin then? Nandvekam Rajanicharim Pamavadhihi. You stooped so low as to kill a woman. That is Tataka. He is mentioning that you have killed Tataka. Strivada is Mahapataka. Whether she is a demoness or not, Strivada is Strivada, and this is sinful. That's what the intent of Parashurama is. Then Rama, in a very calm fashion, says, Mata Name Tataka. I did kill Tataka, the wicked demoness, who was a nightmare to all seers and pious people, but at least not my own mother. We all know Parashurama killed his own mother Renuka for no fault of her, or a very minor fault of her. As per the words or commands of his father Jamadagni, he, without batting his eyelids for a minute, he just chopped off her head. And so, he too is Matraghataka. What else is a greater sin than that? That's what Rama intends. And then Nikshatram Kritavanaham Vasumatim. That's what Parashurama boasts. In a boastful manner says, I annihilated the Kshatriyas. Then Rama says, Koham sada tada satyava. Oh my sir, oh my respectable sir, you only told me now, just know that Shreve Kshatra Kuladhama, you vagabond among Kshatriyas, a disgrace to Kshatriyas, means you have recognized me as a Kshatriya, and now you are saying you have wiped off the whole community of Kshatriyas. How come it is true? You boast yourself as a Satyavadi, as a person of truth, and falsehood never approaches you, not even comes to your distant vicinity, then how come I am not a Kshatriya? Then Parashurama says, Drishto naiva parajayo mama pura. I have never been defeated. I have never seen defeat in my life. Then Rama very boldly concludes the verse, Adyasti tadvai bhavam. That glory shall be yours today. You are going to face it. You are going to receive it. I am going to gift it to you. What a beautiful wit. What a beautiful exchange of words, witty words. Parashurama is in full rage. And people who have lost control over their words, who are lost to temper, who are lost to such a rage, will lose control over their senses, control over logic and everything. While Rama is very composed, Dasharatha Rama, Parashurama is not. So this is the difference between a person in rage and person who is calm, shrewd, and active. Then we go to another example. That is from Amarashataka. Amarashataka is a masterly work. It has been penned by Amaruka, and it has more than 100 verses. Scholars have different opinions as different recensions, different editions have different number of verses, and several verses have been found in others' names, in the names of other poets and poetesses in various Sangrahas. Whatever may be the case, Amaruka Shataka is a beautiful compilation, mostly penned by the author, Amaruka. We don't know anything about this king or any other poet by name Amaruka. We just know by his name. And in Shankar Vijayam, we get to know about that Amaruka was a king, and we don't have any other proof for that. No traditional commentator has given such things. But the beauty of verses is very, very high, and the quality is superb. And here, several verses which are impregnated in a conversational manner, which are chiseled in a conversational manner are present. I am going to present one or two. This is the conversation between loving couple. Balenatha vimunchamani rosham roshan maya kim kritam khedosmasu name paradhyati bhavan sarve paradhamayi tat kim rodishi gadgadena vachasa kasyagrato rudyate nanve tanmama katava smidayita nasmitya horudyate. Bale, the lover is asking, husband is asking, my love, Natha, yes, my lord, just see. He is saying Bale, but she is saying Natha, my lord. In his words, lot of love. In her words, lot of respect. But respectable address is, of course, tinted with an element of pain and wrath. Vimuncha mani nirusham. Cast off your anger, proud one. Manini is a proud one. A very suggestive and meaningful address. She has been offended, and that's why she is pained and hurt. That's why he's saying, cast off your anger, proud one. Then she says, Roshan Maya Kratam. What harm does my anger cause? I couldn't do any harm. There is the problem. There is my problem. In spite of my wrath, I couldn't do anything against you. That is the suggestion. Khedosmasu. The husband says, it makes me sad. It makes both of us sad. Asmasu. Name paradhyati bhavan sarve paradhamayi. She says, but you have done nothing wrong to me. You have not offended. It's only for Raiva, she is saying. It's just an explicit expression. But the suggestion is you have done everything wrong. It's all my fault. Even today people say, it's all my fault. It's not yours. But this is Atyanta Tesprata Vachyadhvani. What we express and what we intend are entirely different and opposite. Then it is, Tat Kim Rodishi. He takes it by face value conveniently. Says, then why do you weep? Tat Kim Rodishi Gadgadena Vachasa. Why then? Why, how come you are weeping and even speaking in a stammering manner, in a choked voice? How could you talk to me? What's that happening? Then she says, Kasyagrato rudyate. In whose presence do I cry? She's putting question, very serious question. Kasyagrato rudyate, because he himself is present in front of her. Nanvetan mama. How come you don't know? In presence of me, why it's mine? But in my presence, you are weeping and speaking in a choked voice. Kata asked me, whom I am, whom am I to you? हम आपको कौन है? This is the question. In what way I am related to you? A very harsh but very painful word. Then Kaita, you are my beloved. That's what the husband says. He means it. Nasmi tyato rudyate. I am not, and that's why I weep. So it ends in a bitter tone. But this is what happens when love is broken. And yet another poem from Amrukshataka. The earlier poem is in Shardula meter. Here this is from Vasanta Tilaka, a short conversational meter. And every line has 14 syllables. This is a conversation between a stranger who is passing by and an Abhisarika. Abhisarika is a heroine who goes in search of her beloved. She wants to meet his beloved in a predetermined place that is called Sanketaka, and he is moving there. And Abhisarikas of several types, Divasa Abhisarika, Nasta Abhisarika, Varsha Abhisarika, and Jyotsna Abhisarika, like that. And she is moving perhaps in darkness all alone. And that's why the stranger, wayward stranger, who is questioning with concern. Papathitasi karabhoru ghane nishite प्राणाधिपो वसति यत्र जनः प्रियो मे एकाकिनी बत कथन्नु बिभेषि बाले नन्वस्ति पुंकितशरो मदनः सहायः. One line of conversation is meant for one character, like that. It goes on alternatively. Oh, beautiful one, where are you going in the middle of night? In midnight, where are you going? Papathitasi karabhoru ghane nishite. It's pitch dark, and you are karabhoru. You're so beautiful. Pranadhipo vasati yatra jana priyo me. And further she is saying, I am going to my beloved's place. Pranadhipo, he is my lord of my life. To him I am going. Where he is, there I am. Ekakini pata kathannu bibeshi bale. Oh, you are all alone. Are you not scared? Are you not afraid of the darkness and loneliness? She says for that in a bold manner, confidently, Nanvasti Punkita Sharo Madanas Sahaya. No, I have the ever vigilant Manmatha as my guard. Means the Lord of Love is always present with her because she has full of love in her heart. And that's why Manmatha himself is like a bodyguard to her beauty. And he is escorting her. Like that, the connection goes with it. Then we have Leela Shuka's Krishna Karnamrita, which is a very beautiful conversational verse. Several verses are present. I'll be reading out only one verse. It's a very beautiful, vivid conversation between Yashoda, affectionate mother, and Krishna, the ever charming, ever lovable, the eternal child, Mahavishnu's incarnation. And Krishna is fond of milk. He has to drink fresh cow's milk, which has been just now milked, and he wants. But Yashoda did not. Mataha Kindyadunata Dehi Tashakam Chintena Patum Payah Tannastyadya Kadastiva Nisha Tavandhakaro Daye Amilyakshyudam Nishatyupagata Dehi Timatur Muhu Pakshojambar Karshanodyatakar Krishnasta Krishnatunaha. Here the first half is conversation and the second half is narration of the poet. And the whole situation is brought out alive like a drama. Yashoda and Krishna are conversing. The conversation is in very, very small words, one or two words at the most. Mata, mother, Kim Yadunatha, what's it, Krishna? Dehi Chashakam, give me a tumbler, give me a cup, Kintena. Why? What for? Patum Payaha, to drink milk. Tannastyadya, it's not now. I'm not going to give. Kadastiva, when then, Nishi, at night, Kava, Nisha Kava. What is that night? What night means? Gadandha Karo Daye, when it's dark. What is night? When it is dark, then it is night. Then Krishna cleverly closed his eyes. Amilyaksha Yugam, having closed his eyes, Nisha Pipagata, already it is night. Night has fallen. Tehiti. Now you give me milk. I will bring cup like that. He's rushing. He's pulling his mother's pallu, dupatta, what we call as Chela Anchala, Karshana Karaha, Krishnasta Pushna Tunaha. So while pulling at Yashoda's garment, demanded it's now night. Because it's already pitch dark, I have closed my eyes. That is the naughty nature of Krishna, and it also reveals the innocence of Krishna. And then we have one more verse from Leela Shrutas Krishna Karnamrita. Yashoda is making Krishna sleep. Somehow Krishna is not sleeping. That's why she is narrating the renowned story Ramayana. Every child will listen Ramayana and go to sleep. That is the nature of Sanatana Dharma and our culture. Ramo nama babhuvahum tadavala sithetihum taupitur vacha panchavati vane viharatastasya haradravadaha nidraartham janani katha miti hare rukarata shrinvata somitre kva dhanuritivyagravira mantuvaha. Ramo nama babhuva. Yashoda is saying, narrating the story. And Krishna is nodding his head with a hum. Ramo nama babhuva. Once upon a time, there was a person by name Rama. That is the answer of Krishna. Tadabala Siteti. Sita was his wife. Taupitur Vacha Panchavati Vane Viharataha Tasyahara Dravadaha. Following the words of father, Rama's father, Dasharatha, they went to forest. And then in the forest, Sita was abducted by Ravana. In a very brief manner, in a sketchy manner, the whole of story, Ramayana story, almost half of the story of Ramayana is completed in two lines. Then the poets narrate, Nidraartham Jananeem, Janani Katha Miti Hare Hunkarata Shrinvata. Little Krishna, listening to his bedtime story, suddenly roared, Sobitre Dhanuriti, oh Lakshmana, where is my bow? Where is my bow? Where is my bow? Like that, he screamed and jumped from the bed. So the mother failed to make him sleep. But Krishna's very remembrance itself suggests that he himself is Rama. His Purvavatara, the earlier incarnation, is being remembered now. What a beautiful way that has been suggested. And then we have some Subhashita where we have conversation, where we have double entendre also. Shiva and Parvati conversing, Krishna and Radha, Satyabhama conversing. Angulya Kavatam Praharti Kutile Madhava Kim Vasanto No Chakri Kinkulalo Nahidaranidar Kindvijakwa Panindra Naham Gora Himardi Kimasi Kagapatir Nohari Kinkapindra Ityevam Satyabhama Prativachanajita Patu Padmanabha. Krishna is tapping the door of Satyabhama, and Satyabhama very very natural to her haughty nature, very usual of her haughty nature. She is saying, Angulya Kavatam Prarti, who is tapping the door? She knows very well that Krishna is tapping. Kutile Madhava, that's why Krishna says, oh crooked-minded one, it is Madhava. And here we have the beauty of Sanskrit. The punning nature of Sanskrit has created this wonderful verse. Madhava means Mahavishnu, Mayaha, Lakshmiyaha, Davaha, Lord of Lakshmi, and at the same time, Madhoha in Madhava in spring season. Satyabhama cleverly takes the other meaning. Kim Vasanto, what? Is it spring? No. Chakri? No, it is not. Vasanta and Chakri, who wields the discus, the chakra. Chakri also means one who has a wheel, even the potter has. And that's why Kim Kulalo, are you a potter? That's what Satyabhama asks. Nahi, I am not so. I am not a potter. Dharani Dharaha, I bore the world in the form of boar, Varaha. I bore the world already. And so she says, Kin Vijihva Pranindraha or Bhujangaha, because we know from our mythology that Adishesha supports the whole earth on his hooves, 1,000 hooves. And that's why she's asking. And Vijihva means double-tongued, bi-tongued. A fork-tongued serpent means you speak two things. You are not a person loyal to me. You are always a cheater. You are always a liar. Like that she's saying. That is a suggestive complaint. No, I'm not a serpent. Naham ghorahi mardi. Instead, I have slayed a serpent. I have vanquished a serpent. My name Kaliya. Kimasi Khagapati. Then are you Garuda, the destroyer or the enemy of all serpents? No, I am not a bird or the king of a bird. Hari. Hari has 15 meanings. Among them, one is Mahavishnu, and the other is Indra. The third one is Vayu. The fourth one is Surya, and the fifth one is a horse. Sixth one is a monkey. Kim Kapindra. You see the witty nature of Satyabhama, how she intimidates Krishna. Ityevam Satyabhama Prativachanachitah Patu Padmanabha. Thus, Krishna was silenced by the witty words of Satyabhama. That's how the poem goes. And also the conversation between Shiva and Parvati. Again, the same thing. Parvati is waiting for Shiva, but Shiva has not turned to her in the right time. He has delayed. That's why she is furious. She is tapping the door. Kaspam, who is there tapping? Shuli, a person who holds the shula is Shuli. Shulam, asminiti Shuli. Also means shula is pain. Someone who has pain, physical pain is called Shuli. Udara shula, Shira shula, like that. Mrgaya Bhishacham. If you are pained, you go to doctor. I am not the right person to approach. Nilakanta Priyeham. I am Nilakanta, oh my love. Ekame Kankur. Nilakanta means Shiva, who has taken even poison as an embellishment, who has been adorned by the poison, hala hala, when the Milky Ocean was churned. Nilakanta also means the blue-necked one, that is the peacock. Then Parvati cleverly takes the other meaning, that is Nilakanta means Mayura, or peacock, Kekame Kankuru. Then you make a scream, you scream, let me see, because peacocks are known for very harsh screams. Pashupati, I am Pashupati. Pashu means, of course, Nandikeshwara. In the philosophical sense, all the jivas are Pashus and Shiva is Pashupati and the Ajnana is Pasha. So it is that in Rika Darshana of Vijna Shiva philosophy of Kashmir. But Parvati takes the other meaning. Husband of a Pashu is another Pashu, that is a bull. Naiva Drishte Vishane. I'm not seeing any harms at all. Thanu Mugdhe, oh Mugdhe, oh innocent one. I'm Thanu. Thanu means a pillar. It means Shiva who stays permanently, has no destruction. He is Layakaraka, and for him there is no Laya. To him there is no Laya. Navadati Taruhu. Thanu also means a barren tree which has no leaves, no branches. Just like a post, it stands. Navadati Taruhu Jivitesha Shivaya. Then he says, I am Lord of Shiva. Shiva is in masculine gender, means Mahadeva. In feminine gender, Shiva means Parvati. So is the inseparability of this divine couple. Shiva also means a she-fox. And that's why she is saying, the Shatavadhani. In that case, you go to forest. You run away from this place. This is not the right place for you. Ityevam hatavachaha, Shatavadhani hatavachaha, patuva chandrachudaha. Thus, Shiva had no answer, was made answerless by Parvati. And such a Shiva may protect us. Like that, I have plenty of such beautiful verses. I am not going to them in detail. But coming to the other variety, that is Chitrottara Alankara, where the question itself becomes answer. Kambalavantam nabadhate shitaha. Which strong person is not suffered by winter or cold? Which strong person is unperturbed by winter or cold? That is the question. Kambalavantam nabadhate shitaha. The answer is Kambalavantam nabadhate shitaha. One who has a thick blanket or rug will not be put to difficulty, will not be put to difficulty by cold. She will never get attacked by cold. That is the answer. So also, Kedara Poshanarataha, Kedara Poshanarataha, Kashitalavahini Ganga, which flows in a cool manner in Ganga, in Varanasi. It is the Ganga, divine Ganga, which flows in a cool manner. That's how the question itself becomes the answer. It is again because of the double entity or shlesha. Then we have lastly some conversation verses found in the Avadhanas also. Me being an Avadhani has several times taken one aspect, one element called, one component called Chando Bhashana or Chandas Sambhashana in Avadhana. Means, apart from composing other verses like Nishadakshara, Dattapada, Tamasya Purana, and Chitra Kavita and other things, one person will be randomly conversing in a versified manner. For that, the questioning person, the questioner should also be an Ashukavi, should also be adept in spontaneous versification. He should come out with verses on the spur of a moment. And like Avadhani, he will be conversing. Here, my mentor of Avadhanam, Sri Lanka Krishnamurti, a very scholar, very pious and scholar, very pious and saintly person who was a great scholar in several languages, including Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, and English. He used to conduct this Chando Bhashana. Pitam kim vavadhanim, it is in Sadhara meter. Lanka Krishnamurti asked me, Pitam kim vavadhanim, are you drunk? While conversing, I had mispronounced something, and that's why he is suggestively saying, are you not in good mood? Have you drunk? Pitam means, are you intoxicated in a jovial manner? Of course, Kimatana viditam varna bhede tadaikam. Pita means also yellow. And taking that other meaning, I answered, Kimatana viditam varna bhede tadaikam. Don't you know? Yellow is one among the colors. Ruchyarte vachminaham. I am not Ruchyarte vachminaham. I am not bothered about color. I am bothered about something else. Pipasi kimusuram madana eva manya. Oh, then you are thinking about wine or any intoxicating liquor, alcohol. Then are you a lover of that? Are you a connoisseur of that? Oh, do you long for a nice intoxicated drink? That's what my reply. Kinte priti surano. Don't you enjoy sura? And then I answered, Katamiva Nakaver Nirjara Prita Yes Yuho. I'm a poet. Surely I revere deities. Sura means not just wine, not just alcohol. Suraha, Devaha, in plural. Suraha is Devaha. Sura no, na is a Mrudu Vyanjana. That's why Visarga is eliminated. Suraha, Sura. Both it means. I have taken the other meaning as Suraha, Devataha. To a poet like me, to a classical poet, all the Devatas are endearing. Dhiro Sitvam, then the Prakshaka, that is Lanka Krishnamurti says, you are indeed virtuous, you are an intelligent man. Tadetat Tavashiva Krupaya, it's all because of your blessings, because Lanka Krishnamurti was my mentor, and that's why he told, it is due to your blessings. Sadhu Vardhasva, may you prosper. He replied, to that they say, Vande, salutations. And Visupati Jinapara Shastri, an Avadhani of early 20th century, he was also adept in Avadhanam. And in one of the Avadhanams, the conversation in a brief Anushtuk meter, Ka Bhushayanti Purusham Vidya Vairagya Shantaya. The questioner says, what are the things that best adorn a person? For that, he answers, Visupati Jinapara Shastri answers, learning, a sense of detachment and contentment. These are the three things that embellish a person. Then the questioner asks, Kena Dravati Satchittam, what melts the heart of the wise? For that, Visupati Jinapara Shastri answers, Dina Vak Shravane Nahi, pitiful words of the poor, that only makes our heart melt. What a noble Subhashita this is, in the form of a jovial and insignificant conversation in the Avadhanam. What a profound verse of so much meaning has been created These conversations are of many varieties. I have many examples from various Subhashitas, from various Alankar Shastra Granthas. For paucity of time, I am unable to present all those verses, but this much is sufficient to know. Sanskrit is an amazingly beautiful language. Its Episcopalian majesty is really inspiring. Such a divine tongue can do anything. It's something like an omnipotent entity, and that's why omnipotent entity that could do anything and everything. And Sanskrit poetry is one such example. Their ideas, charm, classicality, diction, imagery, and then verbal melody, dignity, nobility, aesthetic appeal, everything come together, and it's a beautiful amalgam of so many virtues. And it's our fortune that we are still continuing with that legacy, and this divine tongue is still inspiring us and making us create more and more such things. And in that sense, the unbroken tradition of Sanskrit and Sanskrit poetry since ages, not less than some 7 to 10,000 years, is still continuing. And this divine Ganga, this Deva Bhagirathi, may continue to flow, may continue to enthral us, ennoble us, inspire us. Thank you. Namaskaram.
That was a very great, enlightening dialogue verses. Our history starts with dialogue hymns of Rig Veda, and we have ended our symposium with dialogue verses, a dialogue in the same verse.